Charlie's a little girl. She was born on the 5th of April and she was 3.39 kilos. I was in labour for 26 hours, so it was long. I realised I had never actually been in pain before. I laboured for, I would say around 11 hours naturally, and then I said to my husband, I'm going to need the epidural. And from then on in, it was just nothing like I had ever imagined. It's this little thing that comes out and you look at her and you can see your partner and yourself in there, and it's like the biggest high that you'll ever be on. It's just amazing.
So what new parents have to adjust to when they actually leave the hospital, they have to leave the hospital and they walk through that threshold into their own home and no midwife with them. But what they really need in the first few weeks is to really get the baby to realise there is day and night. Because as you probably realise, in utero it's 24 hours a night.
People always said that when you have a child, the sleep deprivation is the hardest thing ever. For me, it hasn't been, and I know Charlie is a fairly good sleeper at night, but if you follow the rule of trying to sleep when your child sleeps, it's actually not that bad, and you're surprised how much your body just switches to accommodate the amount of sleep that you have, and I feel fine.
And I guess one of the major things they often talk about is breastfeeding, and so we encourage them to feed the baby according to when the baby wants to be fed, not into a routine.
My first breastfeeding experience was very difficult in the fact that I was learning how to feed Charlie and Charlie was learning how to feed. So there was a midwife standing there, another midwife standing there, and we'd both be, all of us trying to latch or trying to hold Charlie in a way. And then it got easier. She fed really, really well and I felt really comfortable. I had those signs where she was that milk drunk and the floppiness, and it's amazing. Even when I see other mothers breastfeeding, I just get this rush of emotions over me. I'm just like, that is the sweetest, most purest thing that I've ever seen.
A lot of parents are daunted when they go home, but if the baby has somewhere to sleep, the baby has some food, and the baby has some play, not very much in the initial days, then they've got everything. So many people get so stuck on timetables and everything, but just go with the baby. Really look at your baby, read the cues. And the other thing is, if you really do get stuck, there's certainly help out there.
For example, calling the Australian Breastfeeding Association, we had those nights where Charlie was screaming. I thought, you know, am I feeding her enough? Am I not? And they just really reassure you, and they go through, they spend a lot of time with you as well. I think we were on the phone for a good 45 minutes, just doing a checklist of making sure that everything was okay and giving me peace of mind and my husband as well.
But often they look for Dr. Google and looking up and Google everything. So we encourage them actually not to do that, because who knows what they might find out.
Don't read too much into things. Trust your instincts, and things change constantly. It's not going to be like this forever, and you can call your parents or you can call any of the groups that are around, and someone will be there to help you.
Even if the partner has gone back to work, then the mums can go along to a new mothers group, and that's a good way to get to make friends.
You go to a mothers group and you realise that pretty much everyone's going through the same thing as you, and it's just reassuring, and it's amazing just to sit down and talk to your mothers group and have a chat about what's worked for them and what challenges they're facing and how they're dealing with it, because then you can pick up some of that knowledge and maybe try it for a little while. If it doesn't work, you don't have to use it. You know, I've done lots of things that a mother has suggested and it's worked for me. When they start to smile is just so great, and I could just spend hours and hours just sitting on the couch with her, just pulling faces. It is hands down the best experience that I've ever had, ever. It's amazing.